part of my identity, that it was, it's not the act of performing that was hard to give up. It was hard to basically uh, kind of rebirth myself as somebody new and try to, I was always, oh, I'm Kip, I play guitar, I make music, and now I just had to be, Kip, I'm the American Muslim guy from Alabama at the, at the masjid.
So what do you enjoy about your life now as a Muslim? Like, do you feel like you fulfilled that gap in your life, that hole you were trying to fill with other things?
Alhamdulillah, I feel like a whole nother person. Sometimes I don't even, I'm always the kind of person I've always focused on the future. I don't dwell on the past a lot. So I don't think a lot about the past or where I came from as much. And sometimes I just feel like a whole different person. Like I don't even recognize the person I was before Islam. One of the probably, the things that has made me the happiest and it's been a big part of my life is the community. Feeling Islam, that acceptance, and just the real, subhanAllah, it's so beautiful when you see, brothers and sisters in the community that truly love each other, fi sabilillah. You love each other and care for each other, because you love Allah. And that's, something I've never experienced before. Even when I was in church groups and things where people were very religious, even like Sister Suzanne said, sometimes it was like, it felt like there was ulterior motives, like it was trying to convert you or trying to get you to believe what they believe. But, just the brotherhood I felt and the acceptance and the friendships. To be able to have a group, Ziva, you and me and Enes and Mustafa and brothers are hanging out at 1 o'clock in the morning on a Friday night, and what we as fun to us is to be in the masjid and read Quran or pray Qiyam. SubhanAllah, that's really an amazing thing for me to see, because the people I went to high school with, people I grew up with, that is definitely not their idea of having fun on a Friday night.
Yeah. So, any of you guys have questions for Kip?
You mentioned that you were going to the internet to study more about Islam, and you must run into so many bad things that tells you about Islam. That did not influence you?
No, because like I said, I had known Muslims. I had a little bit of background information, so I knew, what was. Obviously, there's people in Islam that do bad things and give Islam a bad name, but I knew enough to be able to tell the difference between, who is somebody that's misrepresenting Islam, who is somebody that's just bashing Islam, and who is somebody that's, really representing the true Islam. And I found a lot of, very early on, I found, very good scholars like Sheikh Hamza Yusuf and these people like that, because I was very attracted to the intellectual side of things. I loved the scholarship of Islam, because I've liked physics, I've liked history, and so these people that are incredibly smart, and I notice a lot in Christian faith, it's a lot about feeling, which, in Islam is good, we go on feeling too, but we also go on proofs and knowledge and study. And so, when I saw people that were very knowledgeable and went into depth about critical issues, I really tried to listen and, tried to learn.
What was your Muslim friends' reaction? The Muslim friends you had before when they heard that you converted?
SubhanAllah, I didn't talk to my friend Mustafa from San Diego all the way since I was, 11 years old until about a year ago. And I've been Muslim for right about exactly 2 years now, since I actually took my Shahada. Been studying Islam for, almost 4 or 5 years. But so he found me on Facebook, and he sent me a message. And I started to tell him, I said, brother, I became Muslim. I never forgot what you and your family told me. May Allah bless you and your family for, teaching me about Islam. And we got into a real long discussion. And finally, he said to me, he said, brother, I really, stopped practicing Islam. I was ashamed of it. His family being from Afghanistan. After September 11th happened, there was all kinds of things where people were, accusing them of being Taliban and all this stuff. And he said he got to the point where he was embarrassed to even tell people that he was Muslim. And then he said to, find out that I became Muslim and that I, took, learning Islam from them, and all the way, 10 years later, accepted Islam myself. He said, alhamdulillah, it's inspired him to go back and start practicing Islam again. So it's like he came full circle. SubhanAllah, it's really beautiful. And that's another thing too. I mean, these things don't happen overnight. You don't think, when you're telling something about Islam, we out here, we have the booth out here that we have to make them, they have to become Muslim by the end of the day. I mean, SubhanAllah, they taught me things about Islam that ended up leading to me becoming Muslim a decade later. So.
Can you mention one of the things that you really liked about Mustafa family?
Some of it was just the traditionalness of it, that his mom stayed at home and took care of the family. I came from a family where both my parents worked and we're at home, by ourselves most of the time. And to see, a